Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our winter town hall for this year. It's a pleasure to have you here. My name is Dominique Galdier. I am the Community Engagement Specialist. As you can see, Craig is standing by and ready to go. But at first, we have a few some home items I want to talk to you about. So this is going to be a answering questions from a lot of our members. And we also are reducing the background noise from any of the attendees. So if you have any questions today, please share it with us in our Q&A feature. And this presentation is being recorded. So if you miss anything you want to look back a little bit later on, you can see it on our YouTube channel at my HUECU, and we'll have that sent to you in an email. So thank you so much for joining us here today. And we also would like to let you guys know that just by attending here, we have a few raffle prizes. So if you get an email from me or Terrence or Migdalia, it's not spam. So we are just going to let you know that you've won a swag box from us as prizes for just attending. And wanted to remind you, if you haven't heard, now we want to remind you that we have the Longwood Medical area. We have LMA, a brand new branch that opened back in the fall. So if you have any time, just stop on by, say hello to the staff. They'd love to see your beautiful faces. And of course, our star of the hour, Mr. Craig Leonard. He's our president and CEO. He'll be answering a lot of your questions. So we're going to get started in just a little bit. Craig, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So what about HUCU's financials?
Yeah, just a quick recap of how we finished 2022. It was another good year for the institution. It was actually our seventh consecutive year of double-digit asset growth, which is pretty much unheard of. So we grew just in excess of 10% last year. And we really saw members go after loans big time. I mean, we had phenomenal loan growth in virtually every product out there, credit cards, personal loans, auto loans were a big driver last year, as well as home equity lines of credit. We certainly saw changes within the marketplace as interest rates went up dramatically, certainly a lot more significantly than most had expected. The Fed was very active, and even here in early 2023, they've already started raising interest rates, moving them up a quarter of a point just last week. The other thing that we've been seeing last year is how our members have reacted on the deposit side. And what we've seen is money coming out of the institution, and there's really two things that are happening as a result of that. And this might be, how it's been impacted you, online for those of you participating. But certainly the impact of inflation has impacted a lot of people's budgets. Things are much more expensive. So they've been drawing down some of those checking accounts, some of those savings balances to just pay for all those things that just seem so expensive now, the groceries, the utility bills. So we've seen that. We've also seen that as interest rates have gone up, a number of members have looked at this as an opportunity to say, you know what, I can finally get some type of return on my savings because rates have been so low for such a long time. And so we've seen money shift within the organization out of some of savings, out of some of checking accounts, and into certificates of deposit, which are returning some really good returns these days. But overall, the institution is in great shape, and we're looking forward to another really great 2023.
All right, awesome. This next question, what offers do you have for long-term members?
Well, we don't have anything specific for long-term members. What we do regularly is we are always offering something out there in the marketplace, and generally offering multiple specials or promotions. So just for an example, on the loan side, we continue to offer specials relating to our credit cards, where you can get a 0% promotional offer. The rates on those products are generally much lower than competitor interest rates. We've kept our personal loan rates lower, much lower than others in the marketplace. We've had a home equity line of credit special going on for years, and we're continuing to offer that. Last year we actually saw a 50% increase in the balances of home equity lines of credit. So it was a product that really saw tremendous demand, and part of that was some of the product offerings or specials that we were able to offer. On the deposit side, we've been offering specials regarding our certificates of deposit. So right now, we're offering a special for our 9-month, our 11-month, and our 15-month. And our 15-month in particular seems to be getting the most attraction, although we just changed some of our rates actually today on our 9 and 11-month offers. And I think if you check those out, you'll find that they're really attractive. So nothing specific for long term, but for members in general, we have a lot of things going on, and we generally are emailing our members. So if we don't have your email address, please make sure that we do, and check out our website regularly, because we're always posting those on our site.
All right. And speaking of members, please, if you have any questions throughout this town hall, put it in our Q&A section. All right. Our next question. Do you see solar financing rates coming down in the near future? I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm going to say probably not. And the reason for that is really what the Fed has done over the last year. And, I mentioned earlier that the Fed has been very active, increasing rates more than 4%. And so that has really pressured a lot of institutions and us too in moving those rates up a little bit over the past year. So our personal loan rates, which are very much in line with kind of the rates that we offer on the solar financing, have moved up over the last year. We've been doing our best to minimize the impact or that movement upwards, but they have definitely increased from where they were a year ago. The Fed has probably has indicated that higher rates are coming, and I mentioned that they just moved rates here in early February. There's the likelihood of further increases happening. So I don't see rates necessarily coming down. They may somewhat stabilize. The other thing that I would recommend whoever asked this question is check out our website. We have a borrow tab, and if you go down to our borrow tab under specialty loan rates, there's a whole section on solar financing and a wealth of information regarding different incentives that you can find at the federal level as well as at the state level, and other types of incentives that might be applicable.
All right. Thank you so much, Craig. Next question. Why doesn't HUECU offer 0% balance transfers for 18 months?
It's one of the reasons I really love doing these town halls, is getting these type of questions from our members, because it made me think, well, maybe we need to reconsider that. In the marketplace, I get the same solicitations like all of you as members in the mail, and we're starting to see card issuers, offer these 0 balance transfers for longer durations. What we do today is we go out 12 months. And part of the value proposition that we have with our card portfolio goes beyond just the 0 balance transfer. So if you look at our card offerings versus others, some things that you're going to find right away is that our rates are generally way lower than that of other competitors, and that our balance transfer fees are lower than other competitors, and that our rewards program is fairly rich. So when we look at the card portfolio or program as a whole, we think it's a really good offering. But one of my takeaways from this question is, let me go back and let me look at that, and we'll see what we can do.
All right. Our next question. Will HUECU create any home buying programs to support Harvard staff?
I would love for the member who asked this question just to email me some more information related to this. So my email is just Craig_Leonard at at harvard.edu, just so I could get a little bit background on that. We don't today have any specific programs specific to Harvard staff. What we do from a home buying program is offer fixed rate products, adjustable rate products. We offer products geared towards first-time home buyers. We are in the process now, though, of reviewing our entire mortgage product set. And what we want to ensure through this review is that we're offering a number of programs that best suit the needs of our membership. So I think what will come out of this are more products that are geared towards low and moderate income borrowers. But we're starting to go through that process now, and hopefully more to follow on that particular item. The other thing that I will say that makes us unique on the mortgage part of the business is that we don't pass on what's called loan level pricing adjustments. And I'm sure all of you have had this experience where you'll go to a lender and they'll say, put in all your information, and then we'll tell you what your rate's going to be. On our mortgage side, the rate that you see on our website is the rate that you're going to get. We don't adjust our rate for these other factors, which might be today because you're buying a condo. In the marketplace, if you buy a condo in this region, other lenders will adjust their price. We don't. So that's a benefit for us that a lot of our borrowers find, is that the rate that you see on our website is the rate that you're going to get.
Right. Thank you so much, Craig. Wanted to remind everyone that we will be having a virtual home buying forum on between March 7th and the 10th. So we're going to put this in the chat as well. So you can go on huecu.org/home-forum. So you can join us on this 4-day event. We're looking forward to having you. All right, our next question. Does HUECU offer any options to consolidate 401k accounts?
We don't yet. We will shortly. We've received requests from members, quite frankly, for years on, is the institution going to have investment services? And so last year, 2022, the management team spent a lot of time researching partners that we thought were most appropriate for our organization. And we found one, and for the last several months, we've been designing an investment services program. We are extremely close in rolling it out to the membership. And at this point, we're targeting the end of this quarter, the very beginning of Q2, to actually roll it out to the members. We think it's going to be a phenomenal service. We think the members are really going to enjoy it and take advantage of it. But for whoever asked this question, just hold on a little longer. It's coming extremely soon. I'm
super excited. I cannot wait, and keep the questions coming in our Q&A section.
That's going to be great. You know, like I said, a lot of members have been asking about that one.
Right. Our next question: are any of your deposit rates negotiable?
They are. You know, and where most institutions, most community institutions, our organization being the same, you generally see that with certificates of deposits. Those are the rates that our institution is certainly open to talking to you about, and others too. You know, being fully transparent. We're not the only ones who do that. If you see an offer at another institution, and you're asking, can I get that here? Ask us. You know, if we can do it, we'll do it. And if we can't, we'll tell you that we can't. Our hope is to retain and grow the relationships that we have with you. And we know that we try to do our best in providing great rates to our membership. But every now and then we're not the best. And we realize that. And so if you see something else there, I'd encourage you to ask.
Right, thank you. So we're about a month and a half into the new year, and many of us have made a lot of different things that we're going to do: lose weight, save money. And speaking of saving money, one of the things we're doing is America Saves. It's going to be a week-long event, but we're doing 2 webinars just to help you. One is debt repayment strategies and saving at any age, whether you're just starting out, you're in the middle of your career, or you're kind of thinking about retirement, or you're near there. We'll have this webinar to kind of help you navigate through this process. And you can register at huecu.org/America-Saves. And of course, keep the questions coming in the Q&A, and we're going to move on. Will HUECU offer small business loans for BIPOC entrepreneurs?
Today, the credit union does not offer small business loans or business loans in general to any of our membership. We make loans entirely to consumers at this point. It is very much on our radar screen. And in fact, within our business initiatives for 2023, I'm asking my team to go out into the marketplace and start to explore what other participants are offering so that we can design a really robust business banking program. And the business banking program for us would include not only business loans, but business deposits. For us as an organization, I think there's tremendous opportunity to serve our members better by offering and expanding our product lineup to include business lending and business banking. So it's very much a key business initiative for us this year. In all likelihood, it'll be this exploratory phase here in 2023 with likely implementation second half, end of 2024.
All right. What are HUECU's core values?
That's a great question. So I would start, before I would say what our core values are, is, what's the mission of the credit union? And you can find that on our website. And, the mission of the credit union is to enhance the lives of our members by offering trustworthy products that are easy to use, easy to understand, and that they meet the needs of our members. That's the mission. And if you break down some of the words in that mission statement, you'll hear words like trustworthy, ease of use, best intended for the members. And so our values incorporate a lot of that. Our values are built upon trust. They're built upon transparency. They're built upon honesty. And we're an organization that its core is focused around doing what's right for our members and not what's the best interest from a profitability standpoint for the institution. We're here to make things better for our members. And that's what we strive to do. And I would say the last core value that we have is around accountability to our members, and internally as an organization, accountability to each other.
Okay, our next question. Any updates on the delays in new debit credit card distribution?
Yeah, whoever of the members who have been impacted by this, first I need to apologize. This has been a horrendous incident. We understand that it has been disruptive. It has been embarrassing from the organization standpoint. So what we do in so many other financial institutions across the country, they partner with large vendors who specialize in this space, who specialize in debit and credit card production and processing. We're too small of an organization to do that ourselves. So many institutions have these partnerships. The vendor who does so much of this production in the country had two huge issues that happened in October. One being staffing related issues. You know, you hear about issues relating to staffing and the lack of staffing at a lot of organizations. So they had staffing shortfalls. And at the same time, they ended up having a major piece of their production equipment go down, and replacement parts were impacted from supply chain issues. It couldn't have happened at the worst time of the year, which is we started to approach the holiday season. And what it did was created this huge backlog in production. We have been working and talking with this partner regularly. It's taken them a while, a lot longer, in fact, than we had hoped for them to normalize production. They are telling us now that they will be back to normalized production within the next 2 weeks. And again, apologies for those who have been disrupted. What we've tried to do here internally is we rerouted some of the way we conducted business, and that those members who needed a card quickly, we have machines on premise that we can do instant issuance. And so any new production, once we were notified of these delays, we started producing within our own kind of branch network. Anyone who had issues with a card that was going to be reissued or something related to fraud, we were reissuing. So if you're finding yourself still in this incident right now and you need a card right away, call us or stop into one of our branches and we'll be able to reissue a card instantaneously. So again, my apologies.
All right, thank you so much, Craig. Our next question, how do you recommend that a member prepare for a possible recession?
I think we all hope we don't have one, but a lot of economists who are way smarter than I am keep thinking that we may. And so what I would recommend for members is to see if you have an emergency savings account. You know, if you have an emergency savings account already, take a look at it. Make sure that amount that you have there is still adequate. And if it's not, consider replenishing it. If you don't have an emergency savings account today, really start thinking about putting some money aside into it. You know, it's the right thing to do. It's not always the easiest thing to do. That would be the first bit of advice. The second bit of advice, and the majority of people don't do this, but I really recommend highly that you do. Try to create a budget for yourself. And I have this fight with my own kids all the time because they don't think I know what I'm talking about. But create a budget so you have a sense of where your money's coming in, but more importantly, where it's going. And so if things start to turn negatively, you'll have a better sense of where the outflows of money are going. And so you can make better decisions on maybe where you need to kind of cut back. But I think starting with a budget is just critically important for any person to do. Whether you're entering a recession or not, I think it's just a smart practice to take.
All right, next question is HUECU's upcoming initiatives.
Yeah, we've got a full plate of things that we're trying to tackle here in 2023. And so from a products and services standpoint, you know, I mentioned the investment services that will be going live here in the end of the first quarter, the very beginning of the second quarter. We're really excited about that one. The other thing that we're looking at as well is digital wills and trust, which would also include the ability to create health proxies. And this was a company that we're partnering with, or we're considering to partner with. It's about 4 years old. It was actually started by an alumni at the over at the Harvard Business School, and it's a great product. It's a great service, and only about 20% of those who should have some type of will or trust actually do. So there's a huge gap of people that really should have this but don't. And there's loads of reasons why people don't. It can be expensive, it can be time consuming. And so this company helps tackle some of those challenges by bringing it digitally. Their platform really is intended to meet the needs of probably 80 to 90% of the population out there. So we are exploring that. We think it's going to be a really value add to our membership, and really something that fits well into your overall financial plan. I had mentioned about the review of business banking. That's going to be an important initiative for us in 2023. We're reviewing our entire mortgage product lineup. I had mentioned that before. We're also, and maybe some of you have used this service already, we're looking to continue to improve the digital experience on our websites, on our online banking platform. So over this past year, if you go onto our site, you'll notice that we have chatbots now, and you can engage with our team through live chat, through co-browsing, through on-screen voice, through a new phone system. And so we're looking to expand upon those services with the increase of video chat, with the potential ability to have transactional capabilities through the use of this telephone system. And so the intent is to create a better digital experience for you that is more efficient and more friendly. And the last thing I would say that we're doing internally as an organization, this year we rolled out a really complete DEIB initiative, so diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging within the organization. We're having our managers go through an extensive training course, so they have a better skill set within that field. So we're really excited to be doing that internally as an organization.
All right, Craig, we're about 30 minutes in, so we have a few questions that people have in the Q&A. One is, how do you compete with online bank accounts that offer 4% rates on savings and even higher on CDs?
It's tough. This is a market that institutions across the country are fighting hard for deposits. I haven't seen it like this in my career in a long, long time. And part of that had to do with such lending demand that started in 2022. We continue to look at our rates on a weekly basis. We do our best to offer the best returns to the membership. But we also realize that we may not always have the highest rate within the marketplace. But we do our best to return value to you in ways that go beyond just interest rates in general. But it's a challenge, and it's something that we talk about and discuss regularly. And it'll likely continue to be a challenge for us, but we continue to do the best that we can for our members.
All right, we have another one. I'm a landlord. Do you offer escrow accounts?
I'm guessing that you're asking that question for escrowing for rental payments. We do not right now. And I think as we kind of look to roll out a business banking platform, that would be an important component of it. There's other institutions that do that and do that quite well. If you shoot me an email, not that I want to give business to other bankers in the area, but there is one, you know, locally that does that quite well, and we're not prepared to do that yet. So if there's an immediacy on your part, I'm happy to give you that contact. But it is something that we'll explore.
All right. Thank you so much, Craig, for your time this afternoon. My colleagues, Tom and Tilly, Migdalia Gomez, as well as Terrence Bazil behind the scenes. We really appreciate your time. Wanted to remind you that the scholarship deadline for HUCU's academic scholarship is next Friday. So if you have any students in your life, definitely apply. And Craig talked about budgeting. If you've made any resolutions about that, hopefully you did. You can visit our YouTube channel for any past webinars that we have at My HUECU. Please join us on our home buying forum. All of that information is in the chat, as well as America Saves. We really appreciate you joining us this afternoon, and definitely stay in touch with us. It's about 60 degrees out there, so go out and have a great day. Thank you so much.